Tonight, we had an absolutely massive $2,000 candle on Bitcoin that got us above the weekly breaker, above the yearly open, and above the 50-week moving average. That is incredibly bullish, right? Well, not so fast, guys. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I actually think this is just a massive bull trap and we are going to keep crashing back down. Do not go anywhere. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Welcome to RTBro's Trading Academy. We focus entirely on the charts, completely ignore the news and fundamentals because the news can be manipulated and the fundamentals cannot be quantitatively valued. So, also in this video, I'm going to go over altcoin season and give you guys a cheat sheet on exactly what to look for when we get to certain levels and what those levels are going to mean. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, on this chart, this was a cheat sheet that I gave to my Discord users on essentially what I was expecting where we were. Okay. So I said if we were above the yearly open, I'd be bullish. And if we were below the yearly open, I'd be bearish. However, just like most cheat sheets, there are conditions that have to be met. Okay. So, although this is a very bullish sign that we are now above the yearly open, it's not as clean and it's not as clean cut as what it seems like, okay? Because these 3 things are really giving me a lot of hesitation on going too much of into the bull mode, all right? And the first we're going to talk about is the DXY, okay? This is the dollar currency index. This is the index that rates the US dollar compared to other currencies, all right? Now, the US dollar is known as an asset that people will transition to whenever they don't feel comfortable and don't have a lot of confidence in the traditional markets as well as cryptocurrency. So, in relatively, if this starts to trend upwards, that's actually bad for Bitcoin as well as the traditional stock markets. And as you guys can see, DXY came into a consolidation pattern and now we have broken to the upside. Okay. This is a very bearish sign for cryptocurrency as well as the traditional markets. So until we start breaking down below here, and especially until we start breaking down below this massive rising trend line, I have to use extra caution in the market, guys. This is a very bearish sign as of right now. We want to see it curve and reverse back down. Now, the next thing on here is the longs chart, okay? And this is something a lot of people will disagree with. But ultimately, the more longs that you have, means there's more confidence that the market is going to keep going upwards. All right. However, as you guys can see, for this entire period of time where we have had a lot of strength in the market, we have now started to get a massive sell off over the last 2 days. This means that the major players, the major whales, actually are losing confidence in the market that we're going to keep going up and are starting to take some serious profits on their positions. So, if the whales are leaving the market, generally the market is going to no longer continue up. Now, the good news about this is that the shorts also are really low. So this does tell us that the whales don't necessarily expect it to drop, but they also don't necessarily expect it to rise. So I'm really expecting Bitcoin to go into a more of a neutral to slightly bearish scenario, but I don't think we're going to keep rising with a lot of conviction. And the third reason why is right here. This volume is Metacore. Okay. Volume is a sign of confirmation that the price action is very significant. But as you can see, this massive, right, quote unquote, massive candle didn't even have enough volume to break above any of our other movements that happen in this massive chop. So to me, all this is just a bull trap until the DXY reverses, until there are more longs in the market, and also until we get more confirmation with the volume that we just haven't seen yet, guys. So, what is my expectation? What do I really see to happen? This is essentially what I want to see. Okay. What I want to see is I want to see it start to consolidate, make one more high. Okay. one more high. The reason why I want to see another high is because right now we do not have a bearish divergence in the market. This movement was stronger than our previous movements, so that means that we don't actually have a bearish divergence formed, but it would not take that much to create a bearish divergence in this market. So essentially, the price action goes sideways, and then it pops to the upside, barely clears these highs, and then starts collapsing. If we do that, we will have less volume on this one, and the RSI will drop initially back to neutral territory. And whenever this pump does come in, it will make a bearish divergence across the board. So we'll have a bearish divergence on the volume, bearish divergence on the RSI, and of course have a higher high in price. That's what we're looking for. This is the optimal scenario for what I really want to see for Bitcoin so that you can short the market, or I can short the market. Um, or just start to sell some positions. Furthermore, the 200 daily moving average is right above us, guys. So wouldn't it make sense that we consolidate for a bit, pop to the upside, tap the 200 moving average in the daily, and then reject? Because this is still a very major resistance level, and we haven't actually tapped it yet. So ultimately, I would like to see Bitcoin consolidate for a while, pump to the upside, tap the 200, and then reject. Now, if we do reject, where do I think we're going to fall to? Okay. I don't think we're going to fall too far because this can now be flipped over to a support level. Why? Because we closed this last weekly candle above it. So I do think that if we do start falling down here and start trending over here, this region is actually going to act as a very strong support region now because it acted as such a strong resistance. Now it should act as support. So ultimately, I am expecting us to fall back down to around 41.7 up to around 43,000 even. Somewhere in there is where I'm looking to add significantly on Bitcoin or add it significantly on the rest of the altcoin market, depending upon where we're looking at. All right. Now for the altcoins, alts do not have to follow Bitcoin down. Some of the most aggressive movements that we've ever seen on the altcoins actually happened while Bitcoin was trending slightly downwards or was going sideways. And like I was telling you guys, I do expect us to essentially just be trending sideways for a while. And this is where altcoins can really take off. But what are the key levels that we're looking for I mean, essentially what are we looking for on the altcoin? And we can see this based upon the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? Because the Bitcoin dominance chart is the relative ratio on how much money is in Bitcoin compared to altcoins. So if there's more money in Bitcoin than altcoins, the percentage is going to increase, right? However, if there's more money in altcoins, then the percentage is going to decrease, right? And that just makes sense. So you want, if you're an altcoin trader and you want to see those altcoin seasons, you really want to see the this price or this value trend down. Okay, so bullish for alts is trending downwards. Bullish for Bitcoin is trending upwards. We're at a major resistance level right here. Okay, this is a weekly breaker along with the 200 moving average on the 4-hour. And we've already tested it once, twice, 3 times. Okay, and this is a 4th time we've tested it. So as long as this holds, then altcoins actually should outperform Bitcoin over the next, 2 or 3 weeks. And what should we be expecting on these movements? Well, I made a little cheat sheet here so you guys can understand what my expectations are based upon how far this altcoin or the Bitcoin dominance chart actually moves. Now, if we move to the upside, this is the bearish scenario for altcoins. This means I would be looking to leave my altcoins and go either into stable coins or fiat or onto Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is the one showing strength, I would transition to Bitcoin. If it starts getting above here because Bitcoin's collapsing and altcoins are collapsing harder, I'd be looking to transition to fiat if we got above here, okay? And I'd be sitting on the sidelines waiting for a strength in the market, right? However, if we continue to range in this area, which we have been doing for quite a while, as you guys can see, we're just ranging between here. This essentially is our neutral territory. Alts are essentially just following Bitcoin. We're gonna have some altcoins that are gonna be major winners, like Ethereum Classic was over last couple weeks, right? So Ethereum Classic did about a double in price, which is really good. So we will have some 2x winners, but nothing crazy. If we drop down below this level and we get to the region between 40% and 42%, this is when there's actually money rotating from Bitcoin into our altcoins. This is when you're going to get those massive rotations like we saw in essentially like what time frame is this? This was November of last year, right? We did get some pretty massive movements, nothing too crazy, but we were able to get some of those coins that did actually take off. And what we're going to see are a few of our altcoins are going to 2x to 5x in price. And a lot of our major altcoins are going to essentially get double digit increase in percentages, right? So Ethereum, Cardano, um, Solana, etc. Those ones will probably get double-digit increases. Nothing too insane. You will get some that are going to get 50%, etc. But for the most part, this can be a pretty relatively mild. But it will still have some altcoins that absolutely take off in a major way, right? However, if we drop below the 39% region, which is essentially the May 2021 lows, this is when it gets to a full-blown altcoin season. This is whenever you're going to get every altcoin in the space that absolutely explodes. It doesn't matter the fundamental or the news value. It can be absolute garbage and it's still going to get 10, 20, 50, 100x in price because everything just increases in a major way. All right. And I did a video on what altcoin season looks like, and I'm going to make sure to post it in a card above my head so you guys can fully grasp the absolute absurdity of altcoin season. So if we start dropping below here, this is when things are absolutely going to go insane, right? So here, basically just ranging. Here we're having some major rotations, some pretty decent increases across the board. Some of our coins do really well, but essentially it's a nice little rotation. This is when it's going to get absolutely freaking insane. Okay. And of course, up here, this is our bearish scenario for alts. This means that the altcoins are going to get wrecked, and that Bitcoin or fiat are the way to be having your money instead of having it in your altcoins. All right, so overall, guys, I hope this all makes sense. It's a little bit all over the place, but there's a lot of information I want to make sure you guys got out of this. Make sure you guys are on Discord, guys. Like, no kidding. Discord has been absolutely tremendous over the last few days. Our challenge account that we have on here. This is a $5,000 to $50,000 challenge account that we're doing on this account together. We've had about a 25% increase in the last 2 weeks. All right, we've made some absolutely incredible calls on here. Jasmy, EOS, Ethereum Classic. Um, Gosh, what else? Some of these are absolutely just really good, guys. So AXS as well. So as you guys can see, ZEC, look, we caught all three of those over the last 10 days. Okay. We know what happened to all three of those. So, guys, I would highly recommend you guys being in the Discord group, especially be a Patreon member so you get access to all the latest calls on here. So, all right, outside of that, I'll let you guys go. Have a fantastic evening. Make sure to like and subscribe this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Like always, deuces, boys. I'm out.